All right, guys. No turning back now, right? It's just for me personally. I've been asked so many times, what it's like to be back in it. So I'll beat you to the punch and answer that before anyone asks me. But every year, the last several years, I'd go to the SEC Media Day, I'd go to the Big 12 Media Day, maybe the Big 10, and there was always a void, when you leave. I'd go back and every year, about this time, I'd talk to Joanne and start second guessing myself, say, man, I should be coaching. I should be coaching every year. So it's great to be back in it. As good as all the broadcasting stuff was, all the excitement of going to those media days, when I left, there was always a void. So it's really exciting just to have the opportunity to do this. And, we're off and running. We had our first practice today. There's nothing, obviously, revolutionary to talk about. I guess the final numbers, just so you guys know, I think we have 74 scholarship players is what we started camp with today. 7 of those players at one time were walk-ons, which is fine, but some people would look at it and say, well, you have 67 scholarship players. I don't really see it that way. But we're fortunate. We've got some excellent walk-ons in this program. Just kind of an example last night, David and I out here in the North-South game, I think he took one 60 yards for a touchdown run and 70 yards a touchdown pass in the first half. So I had him stand up this morning at 8 o'clock in our team meeting and had everybody congratulate him. But, walk-ons, as I've talked about, are such a critical part of this program. If you say right now we're at 74 on scholarship, that means we need 11 walk-ons right now, in theory, to get us up to 85 scholarship. And we're fortunate. I mentioned at the end of the spring, I think back Jarek Magnet, Tim Foley, David Vega, Xavier Madrid, Adam Mitchell, Reese White is here from Cleveland High School, David and Naya. We've got some really good walk-ons in this program. So our scholarships numbers are down, but that doesn't really matter. We've got some guys that we're excited about. A little bit about the schedule. We're going to practice here today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we'll depart, go down to Ruidoso. Now, some of you may have noticed, if you did get a copy of the practice schedule, we practice one time a day. We're not going to do 2-a-days. First of all, the NCAA doesn't allow you that many 2-a-days. Second of all, I've always thought it was a little bit overrated, to be quite honest. And then third, I'm going to do what's best for our situation. I've got enough confidence in having a pretty good plan. Everything's specific to the team you have. And one-a-day practices, the way we're going to be practicing, is enough. With that said, there's going to be a lot of meeting time, a lot of walkthrough time. Every player, we're not in a position really to redshirt anyone. I don't think that's all bad, because everybody has to approach every day like they're going to play. And towards the end of the season, or by the end of the season, that'll probably be reality. So excited to be back in it. There's obviously, in our opinion, been a lot of things. I've talked about building the brand since the moment I came in here. I do think we've been able to do that. I'm not going to stand here and list the things that I feel good about, because, like you, I know all that matters is what it says on that scoreboard starting on September 1st. So there's nobody slapping themselves on the back from what you do from January until August 1st. But we do feel like there's been some positive things. I'm really encouraged. So with that, I know you guys have some things you probably want to ask. I'll be more than happy to try to answer them.
What was the first workout today like?
Long? Yeah, we're going to practice long, because some people practice where they take the new guys out there one practice, then they take the older guys out the second practice. I've never believed in that. I don't like divisions on the team. I mean, we're all on the same team. But we will practice a little bit longer to allow some of these young guys to have more snaps, particularly at the end of practice. What's exciting is you have some numbers out there. You know, I think back to the spring, again, how fortunate we were to make it through spring practice with 7 offensive linemen. There's some numbers out there. And there's some young guys that, you know, but let's face it, you know, all over the country today after the first practice, everyone's pretty excited and everyone's excited about their newcomers. But I do think we have, I do think it's kind of remarkable how well we recruited last year with the late start we got.
Was it like what you thought it would be? I mean, guys had pep in their step and they retained stuff from the spring and all that?
Yeah, and in fact, you know, I talked to them a little bit about, you know, these coaches, even though they don't get much time off, they've been away from them for a little bit. You know, now Ben Hilgard, our strength coach, has been working with them all summer. These kids have been working all summer. So I said, tell me if I need to slow the coaches down, because the coaches are going to be out there going 120 miles an hour. And it's a long season. It's a long season. So, you know, our motto is outwork, out-hit, out-discipline. You know, I don't think we're going to outwork anybody today. You know, it's the cumulative effect from now until we finish up against Colorado State. So, yeah, there was some bounce. There was some bounce. And, you know, as you know, being able to consistently do that day after day is the key. But I think these kids feel pretty good about themselves. I really do.
What do you hope to get out of camp in Ruidoso? What's your goal going in?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. You know, I think the first thing, I want our guys to like each other more when they come back from Ruidoso than when they left to get down there. I think that's such an important part of it. You know, we're going down there for almost 2 weeks. You know, we'll be around each other 24 hours a day. I think that's a great, great situation for us to eliminate any divisions that might still exist on this football team. And that's important to me. That's one of our objectives. So I think the chance to get away, to be around each other 24 hours a day, and come back liking and respecting each other.
You know, there's only a few teams in the conference that have returning starters, so like a number of returning starters like you guys, like 14. Like I think three teams have said maybe returning starters just to help and all have that experience, even though I know the depth is not there at certain spots.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm sure every team we play this year, they're right now looking at that schedule saying, we're going to beat New Mexico. We don't care how many players they have back because they haven't won. So I don't know that matters a whole lot. You know, we're really starting over. We do have some experienced seniors on this team. And last night I told the team our goals, and I won't go through all the goals, but right at the top is I want this to be the best experience these seniors have ever had. And I want them to walk out of here with their head held high and even getting more than just football out of this. But I'm never going to be in a situation, that word rebuilding means absolutely nothing to me. And I told them last night, I'm never going to play a younger guy, ever, just because he's a younger guy and he may have 2, 3, 4 more years and you're a senior. Now, if he's the better player, he's going to play. So it's all about these seniors. They've been through an awful lot. Yeah, this program, some people may look at it and say it's rebuilding, but we're rebuilding with these seniors. I'm never going to bypass these seniors in this program.
What sort of, now that you have a little bit of a better idea going through a whole spring, when the first game rolls around, what sort of offense can the Lobo fans expect to see out there? I mean, is it going to be more of a pistol, more of an option, more of a just grind it out? What can they expect?
Well, I'll tell you what you can expect, but I'm not going to let Southern know. So I'm going to have to try to say this correctly. No, I think it's, you know, anybody that watched Sam Houston State play last year, you know, we're a pistol by formation in that the quarterback's in the shotgun. Primarily, there'll be a tailback, single back lined up behind the quarterback. We're going to be an option team. I mean, we are going to be an option team. With that said, we're in the shotgun, which execution is a premium. You know, if you look at Air Force, for instance, you look at Navy or you look at Georgia Tech, they're running option football, but the quarterback's under the center. So the timing of that snap is really pretty simple. It's a perfect snap every time. So it's a flawless execution. Anytime you back that guy up in a shotgun and there's a shotgun snap and you're running option, well, if that snap's just a little bit off, the timing's off. That's the disadvantage. But the advantage is by being in the shotgun, being in multiple formations, you can throw the ball a little more effectively. So with everything, there's a trade-off. But we're going to be, pistol by design, but multiple. Once we get the capability to execute this offense, I really do think it gives us the best chance to win. I think it gives us an identity moving into the future. And I think it's something that we can recruit to. I think there's a number of skilled athletes out there that may not be the biggest guys, but there's a place to find for them in this offense.
Coach, do you have the personnel to run what you want to run?
I hope so. We'll find out. No, I think we do. I look at our quarterback, B.R. Holbrook. He's pretty balanced. I mean, he can run. He really can, and he can throw. Cole Gauchi gives us a big, strong quarterback. He's over 230 pounds right now. That's more of a runner than a thrower. We're fortunate to pick up our new quarterback that came in, Quentin McCown. Very fortunate to get him. He's a lot like BR in that he's pretty balanced. And then David Vega. David Vega is an exciting little player. I do think it gives us the best chance to win right now. I really think it does. I think it matches our personnel pretty good. We don't have what you would call a true option quarterback, but we're not a true option team either.
I know you were concerned about the depth of offensive line during spring. Now, you feel like you got enough bodies in here during the fall to maybe address some of that?
No. I mean, that's a major concern. Major concern. Our offensive line, we're going to have to count on young guys playing. Count on young guys. I mean, Garrett Adcock's a guy that pretty impressive kid, over a 4.0 student in high school. His brother plays at Cal, not that matters, but he's been around football his whole life. He's impressive. Some of those other young guys are going to have to step up and play because we are limited. Brian Oldenkamp's eligible to practice, but he's not eligible to play this fall. He'll still have 3 years to play after that. So we're really thin on the offensive line. I think that's probably my biggest concern.
Will you get more kids when school starts?
Not that are going to impact this team this year. We'll have some more walk-ons come out when school starts. We're going down to camp. We have 104 total players, 74 on scholarship, 30 walk-ons. We'll have another tryout for walk-ons, and you're only allowed to take 105 to camp. We'll have some more walk-ons that'll join us once school starts, but I don't think anyone that'll help us, particularly on that offensive line. Offensive line walk-ons are hard to find.
September 1st, what type of team are the Lobo fans going to see?
I work for Jackie Sherrill as a graduate assistant and then as a full-time coach. But he told me a long time ago, don't ever write checks that you can't cash. So I'm not going to stand here right now and answer that question for you because, to be honest, I don't know for sure. But the goal is to put a team out there, let's put it this way, that the Lobos don't beat the Lobos. A team that doesn't have self-inflicted mistakes and a team that can execute. And we're going to be careful not to try to do too much. Build a foundation, find some things we can do first, and then build, hopefully, as this season goes on.
What's the switch on defense do for you, scheme-wise?
I don't think it's as much how you line up, the 3-4 or the 4-3. That's kind of a matter of choice, particularly because you play so many spread one-back teams. You kind of end up looking the same. I think more just from a philosophical standpoint, I've always been more of a man-to-man coverage team first, where if they put 3 wide receivers out there, we put 3 defensive backs out there and get up and cover them. So I think that's going to be the biggest shift. How much truly can we be a man-to-man team based on our personnel? I do think we helped ourselves at corner. We've got the Jackson twins here. Cranston Jones is going to give us some help at corner. But time will only tell. I'm not going to just lock them out there man-to-man if we can't cover. So that's what we're going to find out as this camp progresses.